Yeah, gamification is always a fun thing, both to do for the entrepreneur, to implement for the entrepreneur, and for the customer of a business. Uh, but one key thing that every entrepreneur should remember is that gamification or the method of gamification differs significantly between one industry and another. Okay, let's take a non-fintech industry as an example. For example, suppose you're building a community, you're trying to monetize a community of uh, a hobby community of Lego builders, right? What what does that community would want to do? They would want to build various Lego toys and constructions and showcase them to other people, right? In that, you want more and more people to participate. You want to gamify participation, right? You want to allow people to display their wares and get, they want, the validation of their peers. This is a very cool Lego project. This is awesome and all that stuff. So you need to incentivize people to provide feedback on. So more and more feedback you post gets, the more and more incentivized others will be to post there. So the community will start thriving. So gamification, it will involve giving badges and other virtual tokens to people to incentivize giving feedback to other people. So this is how this is the incentive that they are looking for in that particular industry. Fintech works differently. Let me switch gears to fintech, right? Fintech works differently, especially in the investment arena, where it is engagement based, like I said earlier. Not to put too fine a point on it, in investment based fintech, people have a bit of a competitive mindset. How well they are doing relative to their peers. Whether it is good or not, whether to have such a competitive mindset is good or not, I'll leave it to the philosophers out there. I am not one to comment on that. Okay. But what we understood, what we identified was that people want to know whether they are making good returns, whether they are saving enough compared to the other 38-year-old out there, or the other 32-year-old out there, or the other 50-year-old out there, right? So peer comparison and a slight sense of competitiveness is what drives gamification in the investment related fintech industry. Okay, you have to identify that first. You have to identify the motivation that a customer has from a gamification perspective. So you have to look at your product, remove everything serious about that product from the product, and see what is remaining, right? You can gamify that, right? You can't, for example, you cannot have the top 10 list of net worth holders on your platform and display that. That's an invasion of privacy. Nobody will want that. That kind of, but if you say that you are in the top 3 percentile of people in your age group of like 35 to 45, that is meaningful, right? So you have to identify the proper incentive, and you also have to keep in mind that not everybody is a fan of gamification, especially when it comes to such gamification, right? So when we launched gamification in Funds India, some people got turned off by that. Some people did not like that because naturally, they did not want to be compared against others, nor did they want to know how they fared against others. So as soon as we launched, within a month, we had to provide the option for a person to opt out of gamification and not be able to see that thing. So you have to be sensitive to customer requirements, but the first thing you need to do is identify the motivation behind a customer's requirements in terms of gamification and implement it along with that. And any incentive that you provide for gamification should be based on the context of your own product, not some external incentive like money or something like that. It should be like you should provide free advice or free one-on-one sessions or something like that within the context of your own scope of your own product. So when it comes to gamification, identify the motivation of your customer and implement gamification and listen to the feedback that you get from the customer about gamification and be sensitive to how they react to it.